Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jess. I love books, I love reading, and I love to talk about books. If that also aligns with you, then you, my friend, are in the right place. As you can tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be talking about the 15 books that I read in the month of August. The audiobooks are the key factor in reading 15 books this month. I honestly shocked myself because generally I've been reading anywhere from 8 to 12 books. So anything more than that is just icing on the cake. Now, I do post a weekly reading update every Sunday on my channel that is in a playlist on my page. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about the books that I read. I'm still going to give you like a little background on them and would I personally recommend them, my thoughts and feelings, and we'll get into it. I probably won't say too much about like a star rating because I feel like the star rating is just so subjective. Like reading is subjective, you know? My star rating is probably not going to be the same as yours, and that's okay. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about these books, what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, and then we're gonna go from there. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. That way you don't miss out on a new video. Let's get into it. Starting off incredibly strong. I don't know how I have made it this far without having read this book already. The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This is such a fun read. I loved every second of this. Pretty much there are gods and monsters. Diana is our FMC. She is the morally gray one. She's kind of like the monster. Sam Kyle, he's the world ender. He has been hidden away for centuries, trying to deny his claim to the throne after some events that happened to him. But he is forced out of hiding so he can find the Book of Azrael. Now, there are several groups who are looking for this book, so there's kind of like a witch hunt. But he teams up with his natural born enemy, Diana. They go on a witch hunt, trying to find this book that if it falls into the wrong hands, it could be absolutely detrimental to the well-being of their world. But nobody told me, I love this so much. Nobody told me that the slow burn in this is slow burning. I want to say it's like well over 50% way. It's like 60 to 70, maybe even 80% of the way before things start to heat up. And the way that this book ends, be prepared. Be prepared is all I'm going to say. I love this so much. There's forced proximity, kind of like a natural born enemies to lovers, gods and monsters, all the best things about a romantasy book. This has it. Definitely recommend. The next book that I ended up reading was A Vow and Vengeance by Jacqueline Rodriguez. Now this was an e-arc from NetGalley. I really liked the premise of it. This had some tarot card magic. The magic system was kind of reminding me of the Shepherd King duology by Rachel Gillig. But my gosh, I'm telling you, when it took me so long to get to the 45% mark, and even then it kind of slowly started picking up, it didn't hit the way that I wanted it to. The world building and the information about the magic system was almost like too much at the forefront. It kind of flooded me a little bit and it kind of turned me away from the book almost. Did like the romance. It is kind of more of a slow burn. He kind of trains her. I probably would have DNF'd it had I not felt like I needed to finish it. It did kind of end on a strong note, but it just did not hold my attention like I wanted it to. There's forced proximity and there are fake fated mates, kind of a soft enemies to lovers as well. I did end up enjoying it. I just, would I recommend it? Maybe. Next up, I listened to A Not So Meet Cute by Megan Quinn, and this was okay. This was fake fiance, forced proximity. He is grumpy, and honestly, the MMC himself, I didn't really care for. He's not one of my favorites. He was kind of like a self-righteous douchebag, honestly. FMC Lottie, she wants to find a fake fiance to take to her high school reunion. After just being fired from her job, she wants to show off, you know, that she's doing well, and she stumbles upon Huxley. It was cute. It was entertaining enough to finish, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't like world changing, brain chemistry altering. It was okay. So maybe. That's my second Megan Quinn book, and it's definitely not my favorite by far. After that, I ended up doing beta reading for Convergence by Kirsten Dunn. So this is a young adult dystopian fantasy. This comes out October 28th. Definitely keep your eyes open for this one because this was such a fun time. I flew through this book. The whole idea is that they live underground and they live in a society where when you turn 18, you have an opportunity to bond to these Oriths. The Oriths, which are these magical creatures that you can potentially bond to if you are worthy. If you are deemed unworthy, then you are sent to the Earth's surface, which has been known to be uninhabitable. So you're pretty much sentenced to elimination. The magic system in this is so unique. This is dual point of view between our FMC Lennon, who is about to go through this magical ceremony, and our MMC Slade, who did not bond and was exiled This is so good, y'all. This is so good. This is definitely more heavy on the storyline rather than the actual romance, and I loved it. I had so much fun with it. It's such a unique take on dystopian that it's gonna be really good because that was such a good time. Then I ended up reading the Edge of Darkness trilogy. I read Insatiable, Voracious, and Restitution. I loved all three of these. Books 1 and 2 I flew through like those books were running out of stock. Book 3 was a little bit harder to get through. I don't know, it was a little more heavy. This is a dark romance trilogy. Heavy emphasis on the dark. A lot of dark themes, a lot of dark substance. Book 3 was a little bit harder for me to get through, so it did take me a few more days. But nonetheless, this series was so heart-wrenching, so gut-wrenching. It's kind of like a second chance romance between our FMC Stacy and our MMC Cade. Both books 1 and 2, they kind of go through some flashbacks of what had happened to lead them up to where you first meet them in book 1, where they've already broken up. And let me just say that both main characters have been through some shit, some traumatizing, just absolutely soul-crushing shit. I love this so much. It is a dual point of view, first person. The way that this trilogy wrapped up was absolutely stunning, beautiful. I loved it so much. I definitely recommend, if you are on the hunt for a new dark romance and if you haven't read it already, read it. You know, it's so good. I did start reading the first one on audiobook because it is like a full cast narration and it was phenomenal. I just wanted to physically read it. I do better reading with my eyes. So, but just read it. If that is your thing, if dark romance is your thing, then absolutely recommend. Also, I got my pumpkin cream cold brew. 'Tis the season, baby. After that, I needed a little bit light and fluffy, so I started off the Eden series. I read Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hills, both on audio, and they are both dual narrated. These are so good. These are so underrated, and it's honestly like very surprising because they are romance stories, but they have this mystery suspense element to it that makes it so intriguing. It made me want to keep reading. I flew through these audiobooks within like a day and a half. And usually audiobooks take me like 4 to 5 days to get through because I'm not reading as much as I would if it was a physical read. And I equally enjoyed both of these so much. These are all interconnected standalones following the Eden family in Montana. So book 1 follows one brother, follows Griffin, which is like the oldest brother. And then book 2 follows Knox, and I believe he might be the second oldest. I'm not really sure, but they're so good, you guys. But they have such a good mystery element that makes it feel more high stakes. I think that's why I personally like to read a lot more fantasy and fantasy romance, because it feels like such high stakes and it makes me want to keep reading. You know, if there's no mystery element to it, then it takes me a little bit longer to get into it. But I love both of these. Definitely recommend. They were so good. So fun. Then I listened to Funny Story by Emily Henry. I really enjoyed this. I had such a good time with this. This has some fake dating. Essentially, our FMC Daphne, her fiance leaves her for his best friend. She winds up moving in with the former boyfriend of her ex-fiance's new girlfriend. Yeah. And it's so beautiful because they're two totally opposite on the spectrum. Like she's a librarian. She's very pristine. She's very orderly, very organized. And Miles, he works at a winery and he's very much more relaxed and chill, dabbles in some greenery. And it's just so fun. They end up fake dating, so essentially they can make their exes jealous. So this was fun. This was my first Emily Henry book and I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. If you haven't read it, check it out. Then I read We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. This is another NetGalley e-arc, and I really liked it. This is the same author who wrote the Kingdom of Lies series, and I loved that series up until I think it was the last book. I kind of fell off on it and didn't pick it back up. This comes out December of 2025. This is a Roman-inspired gladiator-style fantasy romance with vampires, and they also have sigil marks on their forehead to determine either gold or bronze, and that determines their power and what kind of magic they have access to. That is so unique. Personally, I have not seen anything like that, and it was so well done. It didn't feel like certain things were out of place with the heavy inspiration from the Greek mythology and the Roman Empire. But this has some games and trials. But our FMC Arvel, she's pretty much blackmailed into participating in these games and trials. She's the oldest sister and she takes care of her twin younger brothers. One of them is very chronically ill. He needs these lung tonics. He essentially needs a cure, but she does not have money for that. They live in poverty. They don't have a whole lot of money for food, money for the lung lung tonics or the cure itself. So she's pretty much blackmailed by a vampire who tracks her down, and he wants her to participate in these games and trials to become a part of the Emperor's Guard. He has a ulterior motive, a task for her once she is in the guard, and I really enjoyed this. I didn't know who the male love interest was up until the 60%, 70% mark. I absolutely love when romantasy books do that, when it's not so obvious, it's not right in your face who the love interest is. I fucking love that. It almost seemed potentially set up for a love triangle as well. I'm telling y'all, it is the year of love triangles. It really is. It was so good. It was so good. It really kicked off what this series is going to be. I'm dying. I need book 2. Book 1 isn't even published, and I need book 2 already. So definitely keep an eye out for that. My last audiobook of the month was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I loved this. I really did. I loved it so much. This was my first Abby Jimenez book, and I did such a fabulous job picking this book. This was like an age gap romance, small town romance, kind of like a forbidden love, I guess. Like she's the wealthy doctor, you know, her image has to be upheld. Her family has standards for her. She just got out of a pretty not so great relationship. And then Daniel, on the other hand, he's a small town mayor. He is an odd job man. He runs a bed and breakfast. He's a sweet, wholesome, you know, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. I loved him. I personally think that he carried this whole book. I did. Yeah. This had me tearing up a few times, but it was such a cute time, such a good read. And if you haven't read it, I definitely would recommend it. It's a cute little book. Then I decided to jump into the sci-fi alien romance, and I read Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. It was a fun time. You know, it's a 10-year-old book, and it definitely kind of reads that way. I think there's certain things that are said in this book that definitely aged it. It was fun. It is dual point of view, and our FMC Georgie, she ends up getting kidnapped by aliens. And long story short, these aliens that took them captive had to drop them off on another planet, and that's when she meets Vectel, who is our Ice Planet Barbarian. It's cute. Fated mates and forced proximity and a language barrier. That's always fun. Yeah, I had a good time with it. I think there's like 20-something books in this series, so I'm kind of interested to see where the rest of it goes, but either way, it was okay. It was a fun time. Then I read The Scars Within by Ange T. Dalton. Very conflicted because this was very heavy feelings of Fourth Wing. It's different enough, but there are several scenes that are very, very Fourth Wing and Iron Flame coded. But the FMC goes through a lot of trauma. Her mother ends up passing away. Her father left her when she was young. She gets an invite to this war college where you have to have some sort of elemental magic lineage. And when she's there, she kind of finds herself torn between two twin brothers. There's opportunities to bond to dragons. I just wanted more from this book. I really did. I've seen a lot of people absolutely raving about this book, and it just didn't hit for me the same. I think it was just too similar to Fourth Wing, honestly. I think I will end up reading the next book when it comes out and then kind of deciding if I would continue the series based on how similar that one is. Hopefully not, Last but not least, I read A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophia St. Germain, and this one was so good. This was so much fun. The court and political intrigue in this book was so unique. They had to go through elections. Our FMC, she had sworn a blood oath to the Fae King after being in his dungeon for like 5 years. So she's got trauma, but she also has to uphold her blood oath. When he comes to call on her, he tells her, I need you to run for this regent position and go into this election because something is amok. People are disappearing, ships are disappearing. I need you to infiltrate and see what's happening. See if people are conspiring against me. She has no choice. She literally has to go to this election, and it was so interesting. This is third person. It did kind of throw me off a little bit because I have been reading a lot of first person perspective. So not that ever turns me away from a book. It did kind of throw me for a loop a little bit, but I love this so much. There's kind of 2 love interests that are happening and it's not obvious. Again, it was like 70% of the way and I was like, oh wait, I think there's a connection happening. There's some tension. Yeah, it was so good. I loved it. I cannot wait to jump into books 2 and 3, and then I think the 4th one is yet to come out, but it was so good. If you've been contemplating reading it, I would highly recommend. There was tension, there's forced proximity, there's a lot of court political intrigue, and there's fae, half fae, there's humans. elemental magic or there's mental magic. What more can I say? It was a fun, silly, goofy time. So those are all the books that I read for the month of August. It was an incredible reading month. Even though there were some, some mid reads, that's okay. Now I have broadened my horizons of what I like and don't like even further, and I am here for it. I'm all here for the experience of learning and reading. What was your favorite read for the month? Man, I had so many good ones. It's hard to pick just one. How many books did you read? Did you hit your goal for the month? My goal generally is 8 books, and anything more than that is a added bonus. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you like this kind of video, then please make sure you like and subscribe. That way you don't miss out on a new upload every Sunday and every Wednesday. I hope you have a fabulous reading week, reading month, wherever you are, and until next time.